Hello friends, welcome to my Python series second session. In this session we will see what are the different operators. See, we are starting learning the Python from the very basic things, and I want to make sure that we will cover each and every aspect of it. So all the possible operators I am covering in this session so that you can get the basic understanding of what are the important operators, and this may be might very crucial for your further code work or writing a program in Python. So quickly we will start with the arithmetic operators. So we will be using two variables x and y for these calculations and applying the operators. So three basic operators which we all know is the plus, minus and multiply. I am just using those expressions with my variables, and the additional two operators which I am using is the remainder for the remainder calculation and the power calculation, that is 2 or the double asterisk sign it is. So I'm just applying those simple expressions, and now you can see the result as well. These are the very basic arithmetic operation, but surely we will get to know how we can utilize these operators. Now second is the relational operators, where we will be finding out the relation between the any two specific variable, and the result of these relational operators will be in the boolean, that is the true or false, which is basically greater than, less than, equality operator, not equals to, greater than equals to, and less than equals to. It just simply compare the two variables which we have mentioned over here and gives the value in terms of true or false. Now just move on to the logical operators, where we are talking about the logical comparison of two variables. Now that will be majorly AND or AND NOT operators. Here also the result will be in the Boolean form itself. Next will be the bitwise operator. Here generally we deal with the binary variables, and then later on for the final result these are calculated converted into the decimal form. The very first comparison what we are taking with the two variables is x ampersand y. That means I'm just comparing to x and y variables. Now how it works is it will compare the two variables, and if both the bits of these two binary variables are 1, then only it will be replaced with 1, otherwise it is coming to 0. Now that's why you can see no any digit is similar to each other, so the result will be 0, that we can see in here itself. Second is when I'm comparing x and y with this operator. Now see what it will do. It will put 1 if at least one of the digit is 1. So you can see in three different places I am getting at least one digit is 1. Only in the third place where both the values are 0, so that's why I'm not getting it 1 over here. So this is the result. I'm getting 1101, which is the binary conversion, and when I'm converting it to the decimal part it is coming to 30. Third is the inversion of the variable. So x, let's say I'm using inversion of x. So first I need to take the binary expression of this x, and then I will invert all those values. That means 0 will be converted to 1 and 1 will be converted to 0. So in this way I'm getting -6. This will be the result of this calculation. Now just move on to the second part, that when we are comparing these values with this operator. Now here you can see how we are doing it. The result will be 1 if the bits are different, otherwise it will be 0. So if the bits will be different, then that means 0 and 1 it is 1, because these are different, so that's why the value is 1. 1 0, that is 1, 0 0. Now bits are same, so that means it is 0. Now again the bits are different, so it is 1. And when I'm converting it to the decimal format, it is coming 13. Now coming to the next is, that is the shift operator. So now what I'm doing is x shifting these values to the right by 2 digits. So what it will do is, it is shift the values, the leftmost bits, Okay, so now how it will do is, let's say I'm shifting the bits of x by two places that I've mentioned over here to the right hand side. So these bits shifted out are discarded and the leftmost bits are filled with the 0. Now you can see the result is 1 here, and for better clarity I have mentioned the original bits in the binary format also, and what it comes after the shifting, that also I have mentioned over here. Why? Because if you are moving two digits in the right hand direction, so these two digits will be eliminating 0 and 1, and that's why you are starting it with 1 0 0 0 0 0 0 0. So that is coming up to, in the decimal format it is coming 1. Now the next one is shifting it to the left hand side. So now you can see here what we are doing, it shifts the bit of x two places to the left. So now it is the opposite of it, and the same process will work, only the things is now the shifting is on the left hand side. So now the decimal conversion of it is coming 20. Okay, so these are the bitwise operators. Now just move on to the assignment operator. So assignment operator, it just, or you can say these are the short form of the expressing the any expression. Now let's say the x and y, again the two variables, and if I am writing y plus equals to x, that means ultimately I am saying that y equals to y plus x. So in this way the assignment operators will work. So the calculation will be pretty simple, only the thing is I'm just making a short form of assigning a value in an expression. Okay, now the next one is in the assignment operator only the shifting shift operators. So how we can go with this? So like if I'm mentioning here y shift equals to x, that means I'm shifting the value of y for how many times? For the x position. So x value of x is 10. So whatever be the value of y I am holding here, so this will be shifted to that many places. So that's why the calculation will work over here. So left shift performs for 10 particular positions, so it will work accordingly, and the calculation will be 102400. So like this our assignment operators will work. Now move on to the identity operators. Identity operators is just to identify the value of a particular variable. If I am writing x is not y, that means I am saying that x is not equals to y, for which is true because x is 10 and y is 20. Now that when I'm saying x is z, that means value of x is equals to z. So which is true because x is holding 10 and z is equals to x, that means ultimately it is 10 only. Now then comes the membership operators. When we talk about the belongingness or membership of particular values. So x and y, two values I am holding, I am creating a list with some specific numbers I have assigned in it. Okay, so if I'm writing if x not in list, that means what I'm saying, if the value of x, which is 24, if it is not present in the list which is mentioned over here, that you should write x is not present in a given list. Otherwise you should write it down, the x is present in a given list. Okay, so that is the way. So I'm saying here x is not present in a given list, which is true here. Now again I am saying that if y in list, that means y is 20, and if it is present in the list, which is true, so it should write y is present in a given list. Otherwise it will write y is not present in a given list. So which is see here the result is y is present in a given list, it is coming. So that is called the membership operators. Now the ternary operators, when we have multiple values assigned in a particular line x and y, I am assigning few values. Now I want to find it out the minimum value of it. So I am writing x if x less than y. So x is 10 and y is 20, which is true. So what I am saying, if the value of x is less than y, which is true, else y. That means if my value of x is less than y, it should take the minimum value as x only, otherwise it will take it y, that is 20. So now you can see it is printing 10, which is correct. Okay, now comes the operator precedence. So operator precedence, that means how you are giving the preference or the priority in expression execution, which operators need to be performed first. So you can see here, if I'm writing expression equals to 10 plus 20 multiplied by 30, so multiplication sign will always got the priority, so it will be multiply first and then the addition will be performed. So that's why I'm getting the result is 610. Okay, now again I'm taking two variables, name and age, where I'm putting some name and age, and I'm just comparing it. If name equals to Ram or name equals to Jay and age is greater than 12. Now AND operator is always given a preference over the OR operator. So now I'm getting here the hello welcome. That means the condition at this moment is correct. Okay, so that's why I'm getting Ram, because the name is Ram and OR operator is definitely is not given a preference, so preference will be given to the AND operator. Now here the next is I'm just replacing this operator precedence. Now I am writing if name equals to Ram and name equals to J or A. So now this condition will be not satisfied. This is false in here itself, and the condition of Ram is correct. So that means if my AND operator will work, so it wants that this condition and this condition both need to be true. So that's why that is not possible. So I am writing here goodbye. So which is the case, and this is the way the operator precedence can work. Now let's move on to the last section of this operator, that is the operator associativity. So operator associativity, like how the different calculation need to be performed, how the different expression need to be specified, and what are the preference in terms of the calculation, in terms of the parentheses need to be calculated. So this is the few of the examples I have mentioned over here. So hope you will understand what are the basic operators available in Python. So the basic purpose of this session is to come to know what are the major way you can solve your expressions, what are the different operators, maybe logical, the reasoning, or bitwise, how you can perform your expressions and do the calculations. Hope you will like the session, and in our next few series we will be taking more detailed sections regarding to the Python. Thank you so much.